Hey, I'm CDiinky. Alrighty guys, in today's video we are going to be going over a really overpowered Thorns build today, but before we get into that, you may be thinking, CDiinky man, why are you making another grounded video when you said you were done? Well, I still technically am, but I was just really intrigued with the newest update that Grounded had, which was a few days ago, which I did talk in my previous video. But something that was really intriguing to me was that the bugs in New Game Plus have been nerfed by 33%. Their damage has been cut in half almost by 33%. And I was thinking, considering that the enemies have got reduced damage, does this make it that the Thorns build can now be viable? And yes, I have found yet again another broken build, and if the devs are watching this, please don't nerf this one, leave this one in the game. Thorns deserves to have a really overpowered and broken build. But anyway, with all that said, let's go ahead and jump straight into the build today. We do not need that pebble axe, get that guy out of here. And starting off with the armor set, we are going to be going with the Black Ant armor set, as this is the only armor set in the game that increases our Thorns damage when we have the set bonus. Now you might be thinking, why the hell have you upgraded the Thorns set or the Black Ant armor set down the bulky path, let alone upgrading it at all? Well, with this build, for some reason, even though you have high defense, it does not affect the damage that you deal to the bosses. You still deal a massive amount of damage to the bosses, even though you have upgraded your armor and such. So if you would like, you can not upgrade your armor, you can upgrade down the sleek path, you can upgrade down the bulky path, it really does not matter. Just making sure you have the entire Black Ant armor set, so you can have the set bonus of the pin cushion, which reflects some damage back at the attacker, which already gives you a 100% increased damage bonus to your Thorns damage. Now also, before we go any further, this video is going to be made in New Game Plus 4, and this build does work from New Game Plus 1 all the way up to New Game Plus 4. I have not tested this build any higher than New Game Plus 4, so please be wary. If you're in New Game Plus 6 or something and this build does not work, do not go at me for it. I've only tested it up to New Game Plus 4 so far. So if you'd like to comment this down below in the comments and say it does work in New Game Plus 8, I would really appreciate that. Now, if you are in New Game Plus 4 and if you're not, I've got two builds for you. If you're not in New Game Plus 4, you can go ahead and just use any spear you would like. It really doesn't matter. And if you are in New Game Plus 4 or higher, go ahead and get an infused spear with having the effect of it reflect damage either minor, major, or best. But make sure the higher the damage is, or the better the effect is, the more damage you're going to be dealing. And of course, the Fire Ant shield. And now the reason why we're going to be using spears for today is spears are the only mutations that go ahead and actually activate our Thorns damage even further. So as you can see here, the Javelineer mutation, make sure all your mutations are maxed out today guys, as this will increase your damage a lot more. Javelineer, after you attack an enemy, you have a brief amount of time to get a Thorns bonus. I'm pretty sure that Thorns bonus is by 200% if you have this bad boy maxed out. So phase 3 Javelineer, you are getting a 200% Thorns bonus when you attack an enemy, which is just insane. And we're also rocking the Fire Ant shield, not only because we can block some attacks, but also because of its effect of the block corrosion, which after either perfect blocking or just blocking in general, we have a small chance to proc the corrosion, which is going to reduce the enemy's defenses by 20%, increasing our damage. We have gone over the weapon, we have gone over the armor. Now what is the trinket? And there it is. I did not mean to break that basket by the way, but there it is. There is the trinket right here. It is going to be a science waffle or cone, and on that cone or waffle is going to be at least, I would highly recommend, the more you have, the better, at least 2 of the reflect damage bonuses. It can be minor, it can be major, it can be best and major, it can be minor and major. It doesn't really matter. Just having at least 2 of these guys to increase your damage further. As reflect damage minor gives us a 25% damage bonus, reflect damage major is 50%, and reflect damage best is 75%. So once again, the better it is, the more damage you're going to be dealing. We've gone over the weapon, we've gone over the armor, we've gone over the trinket. Now let's go over the mutations. As I said before, Javelineer 3 out of 3 for that increased 200% bonus to Thorns. Also, Meat Shield, so you can go ahead and just take a few more attacks. I know this is just a little amount of HP, but a little goes a long way. Also making sure we have Cardio Fan, because we do not want to run out of stamina, because when we block and we have stamina up, we do not take any damage, it takes stamina instead. So if we have no stamina and we try and block, we are going to take unnecessary damage and we could possibly die. Also Sour Sensation, which is one of the mutations that go ahead and increases our Thorns damage. I'm pretty sure if you have this phase 3 out of 3, it increases your Thorns damage by 150%. So make sure you have this one activated as well. And finally, the last mutation for the Wasp Queen and the Hedge Brimel boss fight for like reduced poison damage, you can go ahead and get Mithridism if you would like. Not needed, but the two main mutations is Sour Sensation and Javelineer. Now once we have got all that, let's go ahead and jump into this one basket next to this B rug, and we are going to see the meals and the smoothies that we are going to need to buff our character even further. Now, you can go ahead and have the Quesadilla Antlion or the Mac and Bees, I believe it is. Just the ones that increase your Thorns damage, as the Quesadilla Antlion and I think the Mac and Bees, that's what it's called, increases your Thorns damage by 75%. Now, this meal is tier 3. I think the other one is tier 2. The tier 3 meal just makes it last longer, so the Quesadilla Antlion meal is just better. And now the smoothies for this, you can really have any smoothies you want, just any beefy smoothie. You would like to have a bunch because pretty much after every single hit you're going to take, you would like to just drink a smoothie. Now, that may seem like it's a waste of smoothies, but trust me, wait till you see the damage of this build. Also, bandages for that trickle heal damage over time when you get hit by enemies, and also a sticky liquid rage to increase our damage by 10%. And now the final part of the build today is going to be, I know this isn't a baby black ant, but a baby black ant pet. As if you have this guy in your party with you, he is going to give you a 50% damage reduction. My baby black ant pet is all the way down the very bottom. You can see him right there. He didn't want to come up, so I had to put in a prop. Having a baby black ant pet with you gives you a 50% damage reduction on a pet that is just insane. Now, you might be thinking, why would I want this baby black ant pet if it increases our resistances by 50%? Does that not mean we are going to be cutting our damage in half? Like I said before, yes, but not really, as this build is still super strong, even with our, high defenses. Now, with all that said, let's go ahead and start fighting the bosses, shall we? Alright, so we are down here at the Mantis boss fight, and we have our baby black ant just chilling here on this hose pipe. I also forgot to mention that this build is only going to work on mild difficulty. The reason why we would like this on mild difficulty is because of this one setting right here. The pet invincibility is on. For some reason, in mild and woe, pets can die, but on mild difficulty, pets do not die. And the second our baby black ant pet dies, we're losing half of our resistances, and this build does not work anymore. And also, with every single boss fight we do, make sure you go ahead and just mark the boss mount so you can have a 20% damage bonus against them. There are 2 modifiers you kind of do not want in the boss fights when you fight these guys when using the Thorns build, and those 2 modifiers are going to be the high defense, it's pretty self-explanatory, and the life steal on hit. That's pretty explanatory once again, because they're hitting us and we are reflecting damage back, but they're healing a portion of our damage as well. Now let's go ahead and start the Mantis boss fight. Now, the modifiers we do not want, as I said before, is the high defense and the lifesteal modifiers, but if the Mantis has these, I'm not going to really care. I'm just going to go ahead and power through it, just showing you it is possible. And the Mantis has none of the modifiers, which is just perfect. So we're going to be seeing the amount of raw damage we are going to be dealing. As you can see, in just a few hits, we are dealing a bunch of damage. Almost dying, that is fine. Just pop a smoothie and we are back in the fight. Just making sure we always go ahead and just start hitting the Mantis every now and then to proc our Thorns from our Javelin here. This is where I start to block because I need to heal. There we go. Thank you, stamina. And just like that, halfway in the boss fight, I think we're 20 seconds in, the Mantis we've already done 3/4 of the Mantis's health. Then we're going to let the Mantis do one more big attack on us. Heal up that attack, block that attack just in case we do fold. Now we are going to get wombo comboed by a bunch of the Mantises here because there's 3 in the boss fight now, but it is not going to matter whatsoever. We'll get hit by these rock attacks. Now the Mantis is 2 HP. Let's go ahead and just run up to the guy and just get hit. And just like that, we drank I think 15 smoothies, and the Mantis is down in New Game Plus number 4. Now, just a quick disclaimer, I did not do this first try. It took me maybe 3 attempts to kill the Mantis, so yeah. Alright, here we are. We are in the Hedge Brimmer boss fight once again. We do not want the high defense or the lifesteal modifiers, but if we have them, I'm going to power through with them. Now, this build is going to be the best when versing the Hedge Brimmer, as the Hedge Brimmer does little to no damage and has little to no health. And our damage is going to just kill her straight away. When she does scream though, make sure to perfect block that attack, as we do not want to get that damage reduced on us. Because if we have less damage, we won't be dealing as much damage with our Thorns. As you can see, we've got to be careful. We almost died. That is completely fine. But that one attack just got us down to half HP. We don't even need to worry about these adds. They're completely fine. Just making sure we heal up after almost every attack. When our scabby health bar goes down into about half, just make sure you go ahead and heal. There we go, once again, bang, another big attack. We're going to heal up once again. Block the one attack. You can see all these spiders start attacking us. They're going to just die from our Thorns. And just like that, 20 seconds, Hedge Brumella, New Game Plus 4, mild difficulty, dead just like that. And now it's time for the final boss of today's video, the Wasp Queen. Now this build is somewhat decent against the Wasp Queen, although it is not as effective as it is against the Mantis and the Hedge Broodmother. Fingers crossed we do not have the high defense or the lifesteal modifier. I cannot see. Let's go and just throw this spear at her. And she has the lifesteal modifier. That is completely fine. It's just going to take a little bit longer to go ahead and kill her, as majority of her attacks are going to be healed back. And all we need to do is just sit here, stab her once every now and then, if we can actually do that, and get hit. And just drink a smoothie. Very simple build, brain dead build. Turn your brain off kind of build. Once she summons in, it shouldn't really be that difficult. Just like block the attacks as you would normally would. You can bring a spicy staff in here if you would like. And also when she's on the ground, there's really not much you can do here. Just go ahead and stab at her. You can also go ahead and just start throwing this spear at her face if you really wanted to. Once she's back in the air, she should start attacking us now. There we go. She's going to chuck this orb down. Fun fact, actually you can get hit by this one attack, even though it does give you a reduced healing. Like in New Game Plus, if you have increased your healing with molars, it really doesn't do anything. And just like that, half HP after just doing that one attack basically. She's going to do this one splatter orb attack. Just make sure you can go ahead and try and get hit by them. Then go ahead and deal more damage to her. Making sure we hit her to get that Thorns activated. There we go, more Thorns damage. We're going to heal up because we are under half HP. There we go, this is going to be a massive amount of damage. If we sit right here, we should deal a bunch of damage to her. There we go. A decent amount of damage, not as much as I expected, to be honest. There we go, once the drones come in, it doesn't really matter. The Thorns should just take out the Wasp drones straight away. And also the healing from the Wasps, doesn't matter either, to be honest. Like, we'll just power through all the healing. We're kind of not showing off our Thorns damage because, like, this Wasp Queen just doesn't want to attack us whatsoever. Let's go ahead and just focus the drone, I guess. And you see like that. Just like one Thorns, half its HP. Come on, Wasp Queen. I would like you to kill me, please. There we go. We should be able to kill her here. There we go, a massive chunk of damage. Here she should die, and just like that, the Wasp Queen is down for the count. And it's that simple. Wasps are aware of my presence. I couldn't care less, to be honest. And we got the Wasp Queen trinket with no loot lock. That's pretty cool. But there we go. That is the end of today's video. This build is extremely easy to use. Now, disclaimer, as I said in the Mantis boss fight, that if you use this build, you will not kill the boss's first try. To adapt to this build, it might take you a few attempts, but just make sure you have a bunch of smoothies and you constantly start stabbing the enemies to go ahead and get your Thorns or your Javelin Near perk activated. But with that said, guys, if you guys have enjoyed today's video, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and even a comment down below. I would really appreciate that. And with that said, guys, I will catch you guys in the next video. I missed.